Hi everyone, today's video is about fear of judgment. Sometimes it feels like a phobia, a true phobia. And so today is just some tips on how to overcome that fear of judgment phobia. I'm going to be sharing some business tips and some updates, especially during this quarantine process. So I'd love you to hit that subscribe button. Click on that notification bell so I can send you, or you will get notification of those updates of me posting a new video each and every time. Checking in on day 7 of my quarantine period. I arrived safely and I haven't turned the camera on, I haven't done content, I haven't checked in for the last 7 days, and to be honest with you, I didn't really feel like it. So as you could imagine, the toll that it took to get myself here safely and also my furniture here safely, it was quite stressful, and it took a lot to get it done and to get here. So, you would have seen a paintbrush. So let me just share with you, I didn't want to turn this video on today, and I've just done some soul searching this morning to really discover or uncover why it is that I just didn't want to turn this camera on, and I haven't wanted to for the last week. And we go through phases of that when it comes to content sharing. What is it that's holding us back? What is it that we don't want to share? And I reached out to someone this morning and I sent a message to them. And I said to them, I've arrived here. The place looks like a bomb's hit it. There are boxes everywhere. I've started to paint. Okay, so I've started the process of painting. Keeping in mind this was a rental property, and it's something that I bought about 1.5 years ago. So I had tenants in it and they moved out in July of this year, and that was that initiated the decision to come down here and to move here to just create a different life and create a different lifestyle, especially with what 2020 has produced and presented to us. It really got me thinking about what is it that I really want to do, and especially now that my parents are aging. So getting back to why I didn't want to turn the camera on, like I said, boxes everywhere. It feels like, you know, the bombs hit this place at the moment, because most of my stuff still is in boxes, and it needs painting. So I decided to get my parents to go and get some paint and drop it off so that I could start the process. And there was an element of, oh my goodness, what does the place look like, because it's completely unrenovated. And it was a turn off to turn the camera on. So isn't that interesting? So I felt that the turn off was actually restricting or stopping me turning the camera on, which is brilliant content in itself and very real and very authentic. And then it got me thinking about the reality of what we do, and we do this often, is that we have to create an image or a facade, or we have to present ourselves in a particular way before we deliver and put ourselves out there to an audience, which is completely untrue. Yet we put up these barriers and we put up these facades because we feel in ourselves that, well, they're not gonna, I mean, really? You look at the house, look at what's going on. Yet I'm in one of the best places I could ever be in right now. So I am in a position where I've created a lifestyle around what it is that I do. I call the shots, and I have freedom to do what I want to do. However, it was this fear of judgment. That's what it was, fear of judgment. And I think that goes to the very root cause of why we do not turn a camera on, or why we do not present ourselves as we authentically should. And this is me being very authentic And for anyone that knows me or has followed my journey, real estate is my thing. And I never buy something that is done. Ever. In my whole existence, I have never bought a property that is been completely refurbished. Because to me, I know that profit or money or capital can be created or manufactured in a house that has problems. And so this was definitely a house with problems. Trust me on that one. For a start, you couldn't even get up the side. I've actually created an amazing access point, access driveway, and I did that 3 weeks ago. And I did that remotely while I was based in New South Wales and the house was down here in Tassie. So creating a driveway that gets back access to all the back of the property. And I'm going to, over the coming days, start to share more with you about where I am and what's going on. So getting back to that again, this house, going through this about 1.5 years ago, reminded me very much of my house based in Northeast Ohio, where I go 3, 4, 5 months of the year. Because my business of USA Real Estate is based there. And so there was there was a knowingness as soon as I walked into this place because I could see the potential. And I'll share more of that with you. And what I'll do is I will put a photo of, because I've actually started the painting process here. My goal, because it's me on my own, I'm in quarantine, so I can't get any help at this stage. No one can come near the house. But I've started to paint. This was all timber, and you can see the old fireplace there. I've actually started to go through the process of painting that whole, it was all timber that looked like that door there. And it just looked dated. So I've started that process. I'm going to actually be whitewashing that fireplace there. There's going to be a new gas fireplace that goes into there, which is quite lovely. And I've painted the windowsills here, and I've painted this wall and painted that wall there. So I focused on that because that's taken a good 2 to 3 days to get done. It had to be an undercoat. That had to be 2 coats. To be applied to the top. Now, my next couple of days is focusing on this wall with that door, and then obviously the oak, I think it's oak timber, around that area there. The TV, I'll be getting a guy out to actually install the TV above the fireplace. That's going to happen. And the view out here is stunning. I mean, there's a bit of a road out the front there, but I don't know whether you're going to be able to see that. See the mountains? I mean, that's just amazing. Those mountains over in the background there. And every morning I wake up and it's got a new view each and every time. Mist coming off the mountains. It's just lovely. Anyway, getting back to the facade, and this is really important. Hi, Sia. Great to see that you've joined. I think the important thing is just to know and understand that by turning that video on, and I've done that now, I've broken the ice just literally by going Facebook Live, and it feels very safe in this group to do that. So do it in this group because you're with friends that love you, friends that will support you. Even though that we have not physically met, we do know we're all aligned with the goals that we want to achieve. So just turn it on. And allow yourself to just speak into your audience or to the people, to your friends that you have here. And it will allow you to sort of break that ice and share what you want to share. But again, it's about, what did I write down? I wrote a few notes here. Fear of judgment. House looks like the bombs hit it. Feeling like, it's a turn off. So therefore, it's a challenge to turn the camera on. The reality is that I'm in a great place because I'm creating a life for myself with, the ability to be able to travel when things start to open up again. And it's all about facades. We build up these, I think it's about lowering your expectations, especially in this year of 2020, where we came into 2020 with our expectations so high, and yet 2020 has created a space where we've had to really try to lower those expectations of ourselves. We put way too much pressure on ourselves. And so by lowering those expectations that we have on ourselves, it just takes the pressure off a little bit. 2020 has been mad, chaos. You know, when you see borders closing, I've experienced it now firsthand by driving through New South Wales. There is an element of freedom that was exposed or shared in New South Wales. And then you hit Victoria and there's no one out on the streets and people are wearing masks and you can't even get out of your car to buy a cup of coffee because I'm traveling through. You see that level of restriction, and then the travel across on the boat to get here on the ferry. And again, the levels of restrictions. And even now that I'm 14 days in quarantine, day 7, those levels of restrictions put this new type of pressure on you or on me, on us. And we've never had that before. And yet our expectations are really high. We still have our visions and we still have our dreams that we want to achieve, yet it's being suppressed because of what we're currently going through right now with 2020 and COVID. So that was a long video, a long Facebook Live. It was a long time coming, and I'm glad I did it within this group. It's about sharing your content, sharing where you're at, what you're feeling. And I was definitely not wanting to turn this camera on and not wanting to share content. I am in the process of building a YouTube channel, and I want content to be placed on the channel. I have a way of ranking and a keyword placement way of ranking videos, which I have been doing and has been building an audience and a subscriber base. It's imperative that I create videos. It's imperative that I create content. Having a little notebook, I'm sharing a lot here, but just having a little notebook here for my content ideas is brilliant. And just writing down what are your thoughts and feelings in this moment, and you'll be shocked as to how much content you will get out of something like that little exercise. So anyway, I'm going to share more of my journey, and I've got to do another video today because that's going to go onto YouTube. But what this content here today is going to form the basis of the content that I'm going to put there today. So I don't know whether you can see I've got paint all over me. So I'll be up and down the ladder today just getting this done. It's about, you know what I'm like, my feet don't touch the ground. I've got a whole back room. I'm going to share more of this house as I start to move through it myself, but it's a big footprint. That's what I love about it. The new roof has gone on. So it's had a new roof, something that you can't really see because it's a house that's quite high up. And it's had a driveway that's been put in that takes me all the way up to the back, or anyone up to the back, and you can see quite a lovely backyard up there. I don't know, let me just see if you can see that. You can see the old style kitchen. I've got paint pots everywhere. And you'll see that. You see that driveway? Well, I've created that. He's got to still come back and do more landscaping on that. And it allows me to actually, you could not get up the side because this was a 50-year-old house built in the 1970s. This original house, they owned all the land all around here, and they looked out onto the mountains. So it's a very strong, solid 70s brick house, really awesome, with a very big footprint. And but the plants and the trees and everything that was in here, you just couldn't get up the side. And so all of that's been removed. You can see a brand new fence has gone up, driveway gone down. That's in the last 3 weeks, and a brand new roof has gone on as well. So all done. So I will continue to just share pieces of this journey that I'm currently on. And it's all about creating that life that you want, the lifestyle that you want. A couple of videos here for you to check out. If you like this video, then you'll love these 2 videos that I've got here to share for you.